Thank you for joining us for Small Talks for Big Change, where we help simplify financial topics to help with your financial wellness. My name is Andrew Farrell. I am Patelco's financial well-being educator, and we have got a very exciting episode today. So this year, we've started a lot of our episodes with going into setting the scene for the new year. I've had Michelle Enriquez in here. We did an episode talking about kind of mindset shifts going into the new year. We also just recorded an episode about setting New Year's resolutions and how to set achievable, realistic goals for yourself. But today we are going to talk about practical tools and tips and things like that you can do to keep more money in your pocket. We're going to talk about some Patelco resources out there for you. And to help me with this, I have two wonderful experts in the studio with us. So we will start with Jen Mink. Now, Jen has been with Patelco and had many, many positions throughout her illustrious Patelco tenure throughout the last 5 years. And I pulled this from your LinkedIn, so correct me if anything is wrong here. Throughout the last 5 years, we had you as voice of the member, manager of member experience, and now you are the director of member experience and financial well-being. This is also not your first trip to the rodeo here in the podcast studio. I believe this is your fourth appearance.
I think so.
I also went back in the archives and checked that. I also noticed a pattern. We tend to have you in at the beginning of the year to do these kind of budgeting, keeping more money in your pocket episodes. So
My
with all of
favorite
that,
topic.
we love to have you here. You are our queen of financial health. Jennifer Mink, welcome back to the podcast studio.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We also have our current manager of member experience, Lauren Goucher. Lauren and I go way back from my branch days at the Concord branch. When I was hired, you were our branch team lead, so you took me under my wing as a fellow redhead when I was first brought on. And I'm very happy that you are here in the studio with us.
Thank you. I'm
as
happy
well.
to be here.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. If you could just give us both a little bit of an introduction about who you are, what it means to be in member experience, what that looks like, and share a little bit about your history with Patelco.
Yeah, so I'll start with my history at Patelco. I was born here. I've been here 31 years in February, actually, which seems crazy. Absolutely love this organization, and that's why I continue to work here year after year. I will retire here. Not only will I be born here, but I will retire here. I have worked across different departments, branches. I started in branches as a part-time teller.
Ooh.
And currently in, like you said, Director of Member Experience and Financial Wellbeing, where I think I have found my home. I am absolutely obsessed with the experience that our members encounter with Patelco, how they view their experiences, how they feel about their experiences. And then with financial well-being, I am absolutely obsessed with saving money and finding hacks to save money every day. So
I love that.
I am super excited for this podcast. First of the year, love coming to talk to you and share the little tips and tricks that I have tried for the last year. And I've got some good ones to share today, Andrew. So you better watch out. And everybody listening, be ready.
We got some good stuff in store for you. Lauren, I know you have tips and tricks.
I do. So just some background on me is I started Patelco when I was very young, and I've grown up here, hit a lot of my milestones through Patelco as well. But I'm very passionate about taking what I've experienced and really showcasing it to the members so that they can build resiliency. And part of that is keeping money in their pockets and also being able to have a nest egg to be able to be resilient through life's ups and downs.
Yeah, nest eggs are super important for emergency savings and things like that. It is, I think, in this day and age, a little difficult to build that nest egg for yourself. We've talked in the past about how inflation is growing and how it's much harder to actually keep money in your pocket. I know in member experience, you guys read a lot of our member surveys and kind of hear a general consensus about how the members are feeling. Do you mind sharing a little bit about what members are talking about, what they feel like their pitfalls are, what they're saying right now in the way of, being able to keep money in their pocket?
It's rough. Yeah. I mean, we had this conversation last year, and I feel like I'm just going to be repeating myself, but everything is expensive. From your power bill. This is crazy, but I pay $900 a month for my power bill. I mean, seriously, what is going on? And I'm pretty good about turning off lights. It's a struggle, right? Buying groceries and just being able to support your basic needs day to day. And then you've got those things that you want to do with your kids, putting them in sports. You've got vacations that you want to take. And so we hear a lot from our members about how challenging it is. Lauren, I know you see a lot more comments that I see. What are your thoughts? Because I know there is a lot of comments about that.
Right. I think right now a lot of our members are just feeling the stress of just the environment that we're in right now, the economic environment, the unknowns that are ahead of us.
Absolutely.
And it's hard to be able to budget and balance that without having a crystal ball to predict what's going to happen.
Yep.
And so I would say that it's having that paycheck stretch a little bit farther, being able to afford groceries and just living expenses, as well as what can they do to help maximize their interest in a world that doesn't have much interest.
For sure. It's very difficult, I think, to put yourself first in that regard when you are living paycheck to paycheck. And, we tell members to pay themselves first. We tell members to plan for their future before they handle their current needs. But I think it's just it's difficult when you don't feel like you have the discretionary income to do so, because then you feel like you have to sacrifice things in your life that you want to do. And that's just not a fun way to live.
And it's not fun,
No,
right?
it's
you
not.
You gotta keep yourself busy doing things you love.
For sure.
Exactly.
It makes your budget not sustainable if you're not feeding yourself and feeding, your passions and your hobbies and things like that.
Agree.
Yeah. We just did a webinar a week ago. It was called Fresh Start Finances. So it was about budgeting for the new year. And at the end, we changed the way that we do our survey. So we used to send a Survey Monkey link out, but it was a week or so after the webinar ended. So we never got a ton of feedback on it. This time we have moved our survey to being directly on the webinar platform. So we
I
had,
love that.
Oh,
I think
wow.
60 responses right afterwards. We've never had that much data from members before. And one of the questions that we ask are ideas for future webinar topics or future financial, education things they want.
that.
Overwhelmingly, we heard people wanting to talk about us tackling debt, how to save more. We heard a lot of how to set short and long-term goals, how to avoid financial pitfalls right now, especially with inflation growing, budgeting during major life changes. So a lot of people, I think, are feeling the weight of this, financial storm that we're in at this time. We do offer quite a few resources, I think, within Patelco and within our member wellness platform that can help people with this. So before we start talking about fun tips, tricks, and things like that, Jen, can you talk a little bit about SpringFour? Because I know that you enjoy SpringFour. You've talked about it on the podcast previously, and I think we have a new interface now.
We do. It's beautiful.
Oh, boy.
I am super excited. And what SpringFour is it really focuses on providing our members with resources when they're really struggling financially. So it could be anything from food insecurity, problems paying your power bill. I might need to look at SpringFour for that. It could be looking for daycare. It could be looking for attorneys. It really is a one-stop resource for our members to check out. And the new interface is beautiful. It's really easy to navigate. You just kind of choose on what it is that you're looking for help with. One of our top things that members look at is food and where they can find food. And really, if you're struggling, it is such a great resource. To just see where you live, you put in your zip code, and then it'll show you in your immediate area where you can go for food and support. So those are some categories that we have for assistance, but there's so many categories you wouldn't even believe, looking for daycare, looking for an attorney, employment services, help with paying your power bill, all sorts of stuff. So with our members that are struggling right now, this is the resource is just something that you really need to check out because it will support you through those times and get you kind of over that hump and make things a lot easier for you. Nice. So I love it.
So you just go and plug in your zip code, check what box you need, and then it just pops up resources?
And it pops up the resources.
That's wonderful.
And you can email it to yourself. You can, copy and paste, whatever you need to do to make it easy. You can click on the websites, see what it is they offer, see if it's something that you'd like to take advantage of. And it's just no judgment zone. If you need help, go there.
That's awesome. It sounds like it's a very easy interface to use, which I think is great because if we're struggling with these things, we don't want additional barriers to getting the resources that we need.
And nobody should ever feel embarrassed about eating healthy.
No.
We have all needed help in our
sure.
lifetime. And trust me, I've gone to SpringFour for a few things, and it is an amazing resource. So check it out. It's on Patelco.org.
A first-hand testimonial right
Yep,
here.
that's right.
Lauren, I know we use our Balance Pro platform as well. Can you talk a little bit about how that resource works, what it is, all that good stuff?
Of course. So Balance Pro is yet another resource that we have on our online banking. And it is really for our members wanting to learn how to self-serve with their financial well-being. And so through this, a great feature that I thought was excellent was they have a financial checkup. And so it's more like an assessment where you would they ask certain questions and then they'll tell you where you tend to be struggling the most.
Nice.
And from there, within Balance Pro, there's also articles to help you with savings, with budgeting, debt consolidation, even debt payoff, how to build credit, anything and everything to help build those skills, if you will. But then also they have one-on-one coaching. So if you need more of a hand-holding approach, this is a great option so that you can enroll, have someone speak to you.
Sure.
And the funny fact about that is Balance Pro is actually local. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of our partner here at Patelco was my neighbor in Martinez.
Cool.
I racked up her brain a lot about what do we have available. And I was able to connect her with a lot of our members back in the branch, and she made some amazing successes.
That's
great.
So
really, if you want to be independent or if you want hand-holding, it's a great all-inclusive option.
I love that they have like different levels because there are some people who are going to really want like the personal touch, other people who may feel a little bit more reserved and they can just kind of handle the things themselves. I also love the idea of a financial checkup because like you go to the doctor for a checkup, you go to the dentist for a checkup. Like why would you not tend to your financial health as well the same way you would your, dental physical health?
It's a financial health checkup just like you need a medical checkup.
Exactly.
You got to do it.
I love that. One of my favorite resources that we have is Banzai.
Oh, I love Banzai.
Yeah, so Banzai is basically just like an entire financial wellness education like hub that we have that's also available on our website. So everything for our listeners that we are talking about right now, you can find directly on patelco.org. There's a tab that's, I think, wellness. And then when you click that, there's like the wellness resources there. And it's all going to live on that one page. It's super easy to locate. But Banzai has everything from like financial toolkits that are, organized groupings of things they've put together that include like articles, calculators. There's information about like different ways to structure your budget. So like, for example, there's the 50-30-20 budget. There's the 50-30-20 budget calculator. There's how to like create a budget that fits with your debt to income ratio. There's lots of different ways that you can like customize it and input your own information. There are articles and modules and things like that about using credit cards, learning to budget, even higher level stuff like home buying or like talking to your children about finances. If you're someone who just like wants a little bit more information about this financial wellness world that we live in, Banzai has all kinds of great resources for you. And all of this stuff is found on our website.
And it's free.
Patelco.org. It is all free.
F-R-E-E.
We love that. We love that. We're talking about ways to keep money in your pocket.
Right.
This is the one way to do it. Do stuff that's free.
Yep.
You will inherently save money that way. All right. So I do now want to move on to the fun stuff, which is life hacks.
My favorite.
We'll just start by like, Jen, unhinged, crazy life hacks you have, money saving tools. What do you do to keep more money in your pocket? I know you have a lot of stuff.
Oh, I have so many things, Andrew, but and it changes by the year. But my favorite hack, my life hack number one is shopping at the Goodwill. And I have 9 children, for those of you that don't remember.
That explains the $900
exactly. And 5 of them are adults, but 4 of them are still at home. But my obsession with Goodwill started in February of last year, so almost a year ago. And my husband and I decided we were going to take a trip to Hawaii.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if you know, but they don't sell shorts in February.
No.
And if they do sell shorts in February, they're like, $20.
Yeah.
And I was like, absolutely not. So we had this idea to go check out the Goodwill and like, let's go buy our clothes for Hawaii at the Goodwill.
Okay.
And let me tell you, that was the worst mistake of my life because it became an obsession and I'm there every weekend. And my team knows when they compliment my outfits, I got them at Goodwill.
You got them at Goodwill.
I got them at Goodwill.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how much money I have spent on clothing. For example, our 1-week trip to Hawaii was all Goodwill clothes.
Yeah.
And we spent a total of $200 for the 6 of us. And we're talking.
That is not a lot of money for a family.
It's crazy. Yeah. And I have 4 under 13, and then my husband and I, and we bought everything from shorts to tank tops to beach bags. We bought everything there, about $200. And had we had calculated, had we spent that at like Target or Old Navy or, the mall, we're talking thousands of dollars.
I was going to say, like, quadruple that amount easily.
Oh, easily. And we were like, hey, this is great. Now we can spend more money on the experiences that really mean something to us and our children and create those experiences and memories for them. And so we got back and I said, you know what? We found some really good clothes like Zara, Abercrombie and Fitch, like stuff with tags. Yeah. If you guys are not shopping the Goodwill, what are you even doing?
It's also so good. Every time I go thrifting, it feels very like hunter-gatherer. Like it's really fun to like sift through things. And like when you find something that's in your size, it looks good, you're like, jackpot.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, it's not even the clothes, you guys. It's the books. I have a bookworm. My almost 14-year-old now is a bookworm. He will just spend his time in that little area, and we spend maybe $10 on books that would have cost us $100 at Barnes & Noble. So that is my personal hack.
I also got a really nice cast iron skillet one time at a thrift store for like $12.
Yes.
And it's wonderful. I use it all the time.
Yep.
I do want to piggyback off that. I love Goodwill. There are also thrift stores that are not Goodwill out there.
That's true.
And I feel like Goodwill is great, not to, clown on Goodwill at all, but it's big, like, name recognition. There are, like, if you don't live next to a Goodwill, you probably live near some other kind of thrift store.
Correct.
There was one that I lived near when I was growing up in Dayton, Ohio. It's called a Village Discount Outlet. I still go back every time I visit.
That's
because
amazing.
They have, like, everything that they have in the store is marked with a colored sticker.
Yep.
And then set days of the week, everything with that color is, like, half off.
Yeah.
So you can just, like, extra hunt and find extra good deals.
Yep.
And like you said, it's not just clothes. It's decor,
everything.
it's books, it's whatever you want. Yeah. So I always recommend stop at a thrift store first.
That's right. I love it.
Lauren, what you got?
Well, I was just going to say, I am not a Goodwill person, but I am a Ross person.
Oh, I love Ross.
I love Ross. It's the same concept of the hunter-gatherer
type
of thing. You don't know what you're going to get, but I find that I am that person where they say, where did you get that? And I'm very quick to say, it's Ross.
Ross just for
It's Ross. It's Ross. So I'm always looking for clothing on a budget because, to be fair, I do get tired of my clothes very easily.
Same.
And so I'm always looking for the cheapest way to rotate my wardrobe. But I would say for me specifically, it's been a journey. I may be in finances and giving advice, but I did not take it. And so throughout my 20s and even my 30s, I had a spending problem.
Yeah.
I would use money like it was water, and my husband was equally the same. And so we really had to reel it in, especially to get a house. And so to plug also Banzai, I did do the house consultation and things like that. We did a budget on what to put down, how to maximize our rate, and then also went through Patelco to get some discounts as well. So I would plug researching what Patelco's discounts are.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a loan, I know we're talking about free options and things like that, but loans, debt consolidation, things like that, I would talk to a Patelco person in branch to see what's available because we have a lot of cost-saving products.
Yeah.
And not only that, rental car discounts, tax filing discounts. It's you got to check with us first.
Exactly. And so there's a lot of things that we have that it's cheaper than where you would find elsewhere and that you might not even know. For example, my husband just did a credit card payoff by refinancing his auto loan.
Ooh.
He had a free and clear auto refi, and so we were able to pay off all of his credit card debt under auto loan payments or auto
and those
loan
rates are much less.
So much better.
Yeah. So it's getting creative and knowing what's available to really hone in on how we can save money. But on the other aspect, I think we were just chatting about it, but I was a huge DoorDasher. It's so easy just to click 2 buttons and then have it delivered to your door.
It's so easy.
And then, of course, they have the cross-sell, so you want dessert, and that comes afterwards.
Before you check check out. Would you like
Exactly. And you have 10
Would you like
minutes
some
to add it.
cupcakes?
Yes, exactly. And I was a victim of that. And so one of the things that I did in preparation of budgeting for a house, which is the biggest expense I've ever had, was I deleted the apps.
Oh, wow.
I deleted the apps. And also I found that even where you grocery shop, you should really
for
shop
sure.
around. And so I was a Safeway person, a Rayleigh's person, and we know that, a can of chili could be $7.
Easily.
But I am blessed with a Winco near me, and so I go to Winco every Sunday.
Yeah.
Have a shopping list that I don't stray from, and I do price comparisons. And so
For
I
sure.
go where there is discounts or where there's sales, things like that. And I'm intentional with my shopping, and it helps to keep the money in my pocket as much as possible.
Absolutely.
I love that. Real quick sidebar. Did I know that you bought a house? When did that happen?
2 years ago. I bought a house.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And I will say, not to speak on your behalf here, but when I was working with Lauren in the branch, you were like very vocally like, I used to have these budgeting problems. Like I was, X amount of dollars in credit card debt. And so I think that like it's great that you're here because you are a living, breathing personification that like you can, come out of these situations that you're in and be a homeowner in the Bay Area, which is insane.
Crazy.
It was a battle, but I would say that take the advice that's given to you.
Yeah,
So
for
I
sure.
know that we are constantly sharing what works, but it's really digesting it and moving forward with
For
it
sure.
and knowing what works for you.
Yeah, I like that. Jen, do you have grocery tips? Because Lauren was just talking. I figured you did about making lists and things like that. And circling back to our financial health queen, I know you have mentioned lots of grocery hacks as well. We had a whole segment on that in our last webinar, but I would like to hear from you
Well,
as
my biggest grocery hack is I do not. Okay, let me just set the stage
Okay,
here.
please do.
Years ago, I would walk into Costco with the expectation of spending no less than $800. I mean, I do have a lot of children, but it's not even the food that was getting me. It was, the drawer organizers or the ottoman that's just that perfect color or the bowls that I just have to have, even though I have like 1,500 bowls. And my husband is constantly taking them out of the pantry and putting them in our garage sale pile. It didn't matter. I needed them and I would go for them. Okay. So what I ended up doing is heard about Sam's Club. And Sam's Club has the ability to shop on their app and do a sidewalk, or I guess it's a curbside pickup is what they call it.
Yeah.
I went from spending $800 to like $125 to $200.
Wow.
Crazy.
At a bulk store like that?
I know.
That is unheard of.
Crazy. Like Lauren, I also love Winco. We do have one in the Roseville area where I live.
Okay.
But my biggest hack is online grocery shopping with Walmart, and I pay the $99 a year for delivery.
Sure.
I have, like Lauren, my list. I'm not going to be swayed by Oreos that have orange filling because those ones always get me, or the red filling. They're so good. They taste different. I don't care what anybody says. And there's nostalgia about the Halloween packages and the Christmas packages.
There is.
And I am so influenced.
Yeah.
I'm so influenced. And so I will stick to that list and add it to my cart. And my grocery bill combined now, going from about $800, is maybe not more than $300.
That is
a week.
wild
Yeah,
savings.
so that's crazy. I do want to add something that I've recently become obsessed with. I don't think I've even told Lauren about this, but there is a new website. It's an app actually called Just Bid.
Okay.
Have you heard about it?
I've not heard about it.
Okay.
We're breaking ground on the podcast
I know,
today.
and I feel like I need to gatekeep this, but I love my members so much I'm not going to gatekeep it. And what Just Bid is, it's an app. You can download it. It's all one word, Just Bid.
Okay.
And it's actually Amazon returns or overstock from other companies, and you can bid on things. I know.
Tempting me with a good time.
And let me tell you, my husband will be picking up tonight probably about 13 items that I bought on Just Bid. So you go on the website, they give you a couple days to bid. You can get things for $1. For example, I bought one of those auto water dispensers for my German Shepherd. $3.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Compared to what I would have paid on Amazon, $49.99.
Yeah, that's insane.
So crazy. Most things I bought are $1. I'm
Okay.
pretty cheap when it comes to bidding. I don't get into bidding wars. Once it goes above $3, I'll stop.
So everything you're getting is like $3 or less for the most
It's
part.
really cheap. I got books. I got goggles for my kids for
I'm writing
swimming.
this down right now.
Just bid.
JUSTBID. Got you.
And then the crazy thing is you win your bids and you can actually say, like, I don't want to spend more than $10, so bid automatically for me. If it goes past this amount, keep bidding on my behalf. So you don't have to pay attention to it, which is so cool.
Nice.
This weekend, I actually picked up probably 10 more things.
Yes.
So I'm going a little wild, but it's mostly things I need. I need books. They have makeup. They have clothing. They have decorations. I got a bunch of Halloween decorations for 50 cents.
That's wonderful.
So if anybody's interested, just bid. This is not sponsored. But it is an app that you can download and check it out. And trust me, you're going to love me for this tip.
That's awesome.
I have a lot to say about all of this. So first and foremost, I feel like this is a great tip because in addition to like Ross, Dress for Less, as I like to call it, it's by its government name, and thrift stores and things like that. This is like when you were talking about how you like to spend money, I'm the same way. I don't think I will ever be cured of like the desire to like buy things. It's just it's part of like my psychology. So it's about like it might be a redhead thing. It might be in our genes. But I think it's a good idea to find like resources like this because like you're always going to have that itch to shop. So you just need to do it in a way that's a little bit more smart.
Exactly.
And a little more like mindful with your wallet. And if I can find stuff on Amazon for $3 to $5 or less, that's like brand new condition for the most part, I'm going to be all over this website. Speaking of Amazon returns, one of my like unhinged hacks is utilizing Amazon returns. And I will say like I've talked to people in the past who feel a type of way about doing returns or things like that. I am the biggest buyer and returner of everything.
I live at
Save
the
the
UPS
receipt.
store.
Yeah, I think like stopping by the UPS store has now become a part of my like weekly errands because it's like for the one hand, if you get something and it's not what you wanted, it's just going to take up space in your closet or in your house, and you're not getting that money back. So just return it. Amazon returns are so easy. You just like bring the item loose and unpackaged, and they will take care of the rest of it. You don't have to pay for like boxes or shipping or anything.
It's so easy.
Or sometimes you don't even have to return it.
Yeah. Oh, I have also done that. Or it's like I go through the return process, and it's like just keep it. We'll give you the money back. Like, all right, cool. Yeah. And
my thing is, if you don't love it, don't keep it.
Don't keep it. Don't keep it. Yeah.
Yep.
And I have also bought things like I can't decide between this one or this one, so I just buy them both, and that way I make sure like the one that I have, I'm not second guessing. Should I have gotten the other one? I know I return, so my purchases are I think a little bit more intentional that way, and just utilize returns. And I also wanted to circle back to your grocery tip about like doing online ordering because I have always been like I don't want to say against online ordering for grocery stores, but we were talking about DoorDash earlier and how like if I'm going to DoorDash something, I will just go and pick it up because I don't want to pay delivery fees and things like that. But when you say it like how you've, laid it out, I remember when I was doing our Psychology of Spending webinar / podcast, I learned that the average American is exposed to, I think, 10,000 ads per day.
Wow.
And like with the way that groceries are laid out, or grocery stores are laid out, they are intentionally designed to like expose you to the most amount of product as possible. So if you're paying a $99 annual fee or like a $5 delivery fee or whatever it is, but you're saving $100+ on the grocery trip, I think it's worth it. And
it's totally worth it.
You can still get those red Oreos if you like think about them ahead of time and just add them to your cart. It helps kind of ease the like impulse purchases when you're at the grocery store. So that's a great tip.
I feel the same way about Amazon too. I'm a proponent for Amazon Prime. I had to do a lot of work to convince my mother-in-law to get it because for as often as we order off Amazon, which is another way that I budget, is just pick what you need, have it delivered. It's very easy.
Sure.
But the shipping charges and all of that adds up.
Oh, yeah,
and
for
so
sure.
you really have to balance how much are you spending versus just paying that subscription. And sometimes it does make sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't. But that's another money saver is look through your bank accounts to see what subscriptions you have. Right?
Exactly.
Amazon does a great job of having a subscription section where you can see. And I forgot about all the streaming services with A&E, AMC
Plus.
You have A&E Plus, HBO
So many.
Max. When it's there in your face, you really do see it.
Yeah.
And you see how much you're spending. And then, of course, if you want to go commercial free, that's an added charge.
I got to go commercial free.
I know.
Yeah. But then you realize, when was the last time I saw a show on that streaming service?
Sure.
Or when did I do this? And so just regularly reviewing your subscriptions is
Yeah.
also a tip that I would give.
I love that.
I want to circle back to the Amazon thing because there is a hidden trick on Amazon. I know. First of all, I don't know if you guys know, but Amazon, you guys have heard of Temu and Shein. They have a site almost exactly like that on Amazon.
Really?
Yes. So if you search, I
write
can't
something
remember
else
what
down
it's
here.
called, but things for $1. But the hack I want to share with you is if you find a product, for example, I'm just going to say a book that you really want to read, and it will show you different prices. It'll show you the new, and then it'll show you like new. You can save like $10 from new and like new.
Yep.
And so I will most likely buy the used or like new. I'll get it, and maybe it's a little roughed up, but it's a book.
Usually it's
right?
also not. Sometimes I've had those still like in the shrink wrap too. And
Yeah.
those items are also still fulfilled by Amazon. So
Correct.
you still get like the free 2-day
Yeah.
shipping or whatever it is. It's still like an Amazon
Yep.
sanctioned product. So you're not worried about it being from like a third seller like that.
I've bought my Christmas decorations on
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Wow.
Going back also to what you said, Lauren, about like adding subscriptions and things like that to your Amazon Prime membership, because I watch an absurd amount of TV and movies.
Same.
Yeah.
Whenever I go on Amazon, it's a lot of times I'll search for a movie and it's like, buy it for $14.99 or watch with, UPN Supreme for like your 7-day free trial.
Yeah.
I will always do the free trial, but I cancel it immediately. I sign
Exactly.
up and then
Same.
I go into my thing and cancel it right there, because you still get the 7 days.
Yep.
But if you tell yourself like, oh, I'll cancel this when it gets closer to the 7
Yeah.
days, you're much more likely to forget. And then
Agreed.
it just gets lost in your monthly subscriptions that way.
And you
So-
can do that with Amazon too. You
Yeah.
can subscribe and save a couple dollars. Just get the product. Once it ships, go in and just cancel the subscription. So I do that too.
I do that all the time.
Money hacks, guys.
Yeah.
Money hacks.
And sometimes I will actually, because I used to do that for everything, just cancel all my subscribe and saves. But there are a couple things that I like, dryer sheets
Yeah.
that I
Yeah,
genuinely do use. The longer that you keep your subscribe and save going, the more that you save,
Oh, okay. I didn't know
percentage-wise
that.
over time. Yeah. So if
Yeah.
it's something that you are actually going to be ordering every 3 months or whatever,
Yeah.
just keep the subscribe
Yeah.
and save,
Okay.
because it'll get cheaper
That's a
as
good
time
one.
goes on. I have a couple little hacks that
let's hear it.
I put.
Oh, I can't wait to hear.
These are member submitted. So
Oh,
at
okay,
when we
okay.
were doing
Love those.
our webinar, we put it to the chat when we were talking about this.
love
Like, send us
that.
yours. There's the one that we heard a couple times is do not grocery shop when you are hungry.
Yes.
Don't grocery shop when you're stressed, when you're emotional. Don't
Yep.
allow those additional external influences to influence your grocery shopping, because it's
So
already
Love
hard.
that one. Yeah.
Say that again.
When do we do grocery
We
shopping?
do grocery shopping fresh after breakfast. You've had a morning of yoga. You're in a great mood. That is
meditation.
when you go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
This one was like kind of a mind-blowing thing for me, and I'm going to say it, and you guys are going to be like, duh. But when I read it, I was like, oh, I really never thought about that. This person's like, I really like to go to Starbucks, so I'm not going to cut it out, but I will just now order a smaller size. So she's
Oh,
like,
that's
I
good.
used to go
Yeah.
and get a venti every time, and now I get a tall. I still go every day, but I'm now saving $40, $50+ a week by
Yep.
just modulating the existing order that I get. Right? I was like, oh, duh, that makes sense. But I never
Yeah.
would have connected that. So,
And just so you know, to add to that, there's some Instagram pages that give you Starbucks order hacks where you can actually get your drinks for cheaper.
ooh.
So
Yeah.
look for that on Instagram.
Someone also find like budgeting groups on Facebook, on social
Yeah.
media that have like hacks like this. There's lots of people who are submitting good tips and good suggestions.
Yeah.
This one I really liked. I'm going to read it verbatim. You already pay for city water, drink it, pass on the bottled water ripoff.
I love it.
Say it louder. I feel like if you
Yes.
want to buy a $30 Brita pitcher because you don't like the taste of the city water, that's fine, but it's a
Yep.
one-time purchase. It's also much less wasteful than buying a bunch of plastic.
Or drinking half a bottle and finding it, behind your living room couch
Exactly.
like I do with children. So yeah, I
with,
agree.
With 9 kids, I can
Yeah.
understand how that would happen.
Yep.
Lots of people suggesting freezing stuff, freezing leftovers you're
Yep.
not going to use, ingredients you're not going to use. One of the things that I've recently started doing in my fridge is creating like a designated section that is use this stuff first. So like
Oh,
we
that's a
would
good
have
idea.
a lot of like half an avocado, for example, or like half a tomato or cucumber that would just go, and then as other things would be put, they'd go back to the back of the fridge.
Yep.
And then once we do our, once every 3-month fridge clean, there's like
A bell pepper.
disgusting stuff back there. Yeah, so
We're growing antibiotics in there.
so we now have like a designated front and center.
Yeah.
Use this stuff before you go in any of the drawers. Just trying to be very mindful about like we're already spending an arm and a leg on groceries as is, so let's like be very intentional about what we buy. So we're not just
or shop your pantry too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Build
That's
your
a good
meals
one.
around what you
Yeah.
already
That's
have.
what we do.
But
And
that's kind of like what you're doing, and I love that.
Yeah. Maximize your existing food.
And
Yeah.
I would say that that's perfect because I started noticing that with the prices of food going up, that I was noticing the food waste was a little bit obscene, and it was really hitting home to me, hurting my heart, to be honest. And so I started realizing that freezing is the way to go.
For sure.
I won't even get into how much I freeze, but I have eggs in there. I have every bread loaf that I get goes into the freezer. Every leftover goes into a container and is frozen.
And then put away.
And it's just a way to go back to it and not have to dump all that money in
that's a
garbage.
good
It's so
good point.
bad.
Especially if you're buying bulk, like we talked about with Costco or Sam's Club, you can't go through that stuff
Yes.
generally as fast as you would be able to. So just be mindful about how you're storing it. Because I have also thrown like entire unopened bags of like spinach and stuff away.
Oh,
But
that's
it's heartbreaking.
It
It is so
Because
sad.
not only is it like I wasted this money, but it's like this could have not been wasted.
Yeah.
You know, so
It is.
that's how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we wrap up today, I have a new segment that I'm introducing on Small Talks for Big Change. And it's called Your Golden Nugget. So I want to ask both of you guys what your golden nugget of this topic is. It can be anything. It can be one like prevailing tip that is, prevalent with the topics that we've discussed today. It can be a piece of advice you've gotten, a mantra, a saying, whatever it is. What is your like one little golden nugget that you want to leave our listeners with today?
Oh, wow. That's a good question.
I know.
I would say my golden nugget, beyond all the golden nuggets that I've shared.
Right, we've had a lot. What is your number one
My
top of the
number
pyramid?
one is, I would say, and this is not something I've mentioned yet, but I use TikTok a lot for budgeting hacks or coupon hacks. There's some creators out there that actually give you coupon hacks for Target and using their app.
Yeah.
And so you can watch, they'll show you how to buy like 10 products or something for like $15.
Okay.
And so I would say look at the different social media options out there and look for those crazy coupon. There's something called Crazy Coupon Lady, which I love her. I follow her. I get push notifications all day from her. But really be intentional about what you're buying. Think about it overnight.
Okay.
That's something I've started this year is, am I going to want this tomorrow or am I going to want to return it tomorrow?
Yeah.
So I guess that's two golden nuggets.
I love them both.
Love couponing.
I like the couponing. It kind of goes back to your point earlier. Like there's advice out there and there is like tips and things out there. So just like take the information that is available to you.
Yep.
Lauren Goucher, what do you have for us today?
Ooh, save the best for last. I would say my golden nugget is pretty straight on, but I touched on it, which is knowing your resources.
Okay,
And I think that we don't say that enough, but Patelco has a lot of great resources. We only touched on the tip of the iceberg
We
of
sure
what's
did.
available.
Right.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I think right off the bat is just meet with one of our certified financial specialists.
Yeah.
That's a huge resource that we have in person or digitally, that they are there to hear you, meet you where you are, build a path to financial well-being and resiliency, and keep you on track with those goals. And I think that in this day and age, self-service is excellent. So yes, teach yourself.
Teach yourself.
Teach yourself, but also lean into those who are the experts.
Human connection, it
Always.
means everything.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And all it takes is just a quick phone call or just a visit to a branch.
Couple clicks.
And we would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the CFS stuff is Certified Financial Specialist, for those listening, is all also available on the wellness tab on our website as well. Like it's all in the same space. So everything we've talked to, you can find on our website. Anybody who has any further questions about this, if you want like step-by-step direction on how to get there, or if you just have like ideas for future podcast episodes, other topics you want us to discuss, you can reach out to us at webinars@patelco.org. That is webinars, WEBINARS, at patelco.org. We would love to hear from you. Jen, Lauren, Thank you both so much. for
You're
joining
so
me
welcome.
in the
It was a
studio
pleasure.
today. I learned a
What a
lot
fun
from both
time.
of you guys also.
Go download JustBid.
I have it circled right here. It's the first thing I'm going to do when we leave. All right. Thank you all for listening. That is going to do it for today on Small Talks for Big Change, where we help simplify financial topics to help with your financial wellness. We will see you next time. Patelco Credit Union is insured by NCUA. Hey, you guys. Hope you liked that video. Thank you for watching. For more financial wellness information, go ahead and click here to subscribe and here to watch the next video. Thank you.